on, you ESG Nation, and welcome back to another episode here on the channel, as we're back here for another episode of Dawg Pound TV. And we're back here for the second episode, and of course this episode is going to focus on the new scouting system. You guys by now probably already know more, invested in it. A lot of you probably waited until to do your franchises if you're a YouTuber or not, because of this new system. Because this new system, if you started your franchise beforehand, before this, if you wanted the new system, you had to restart your franchise. And I told you guys this already, that I was going to wait until this new system came out, regardless of whenever it finally, was going to be released. And of course, it was supposed to be out in late September, and then they finally decided mid October to get it together. And of course, there's been other things going on personally in my life. I got a job working, doing play-by-play for the community college I went to several years ago, and I'm doing play-by-play for them for high school, or for their football and some other sports, some other fall sports there. So trying to do this and do that, and then of course my actual full-time job, working at the university there in St. Joseph, Missouri, the Missouri Western State University that I work over there. Trying to do that and this and the Highland thing, it's just been really crazy and really hectic. So just trying to get series out here. Hopefully start, sports, some of the fall sports are starting to die down, and I can be doing a lot more stuff here on YouTube for you guys. But today we're going to talk about the scouting update here, and they got some pretty good, it's actually a really nice system. I like this system because it does not give you too much about it. It's just, just like in real life, you wouldn't know everything about skills about a player, because a lot of those skills you can't really see until you actually have them on the field. So and of course the draft's not scientific or anything like that. It's just, are you lucky enough to find a player that works hard enough to achieve a goal, and that, of course, that goal being winning a Super Bowl championship. As you take a look here, we're looking at the current standings right now from week 1, after we got that great victory there in Kansas City, and now getting ready for this next game coming up against the Texans. We just want to work on, I just want to show you guys the scouting on here, because like I said, the scouting does not show you everything. You can focus your scouting to a specific player after towards the latter part of the series, the season. And but you can get 40%, 60%, and then eventually 100%, depending on who you're scouting and how well your scouts are. Because some of the scouts are not the best. I think they rank them from 1 to 3, 3 being the best in scouting. They could find a lot of things and do a lot of they give you more accurate readings of players like that, as opposed to your ones, where it give you like 40, anywhere to 40 to maybe half, 50%, 55% of ability to know the players like that. So there you see on the right hand side, they show you all the prospects. On the right hand side, they show you the regions that it break it down. And of course, this is a custom draft class that I have. Now, you guys will get a hold of this draft class here somewhere here in a couple weeks from now. I'll let you guys know somewhere around when we get to maybe week 8, week 9 here in the series. I'll release that draft class via being on PS4. You have to be on the PS4 to get this draft class, and I'll let you guys know what that draft class name is and whatnot on that future episode of Dawg Pound TV. But right now, just kind of want you guys look at the assignments here from the scouting assignments. These are the things of course, you got the scouts' names, the first and last names, what tier they are, and of course what region they focus on, and then of course what their position expert is. Now, some will have just 1, some will have 2. Like for instance, that one at the top there, they basically are good at ends, defensive ends, left and right. Then you got some people who are just good at defensive tackles, or just good at wide receivers, or whatever, just one particular position and maybe not a secondary position there. So there's a lot of different scouts you can go on here, look at. You can also once you find out certain things about scouts, and you can of course add them to your favorites, to your draft, your big board and whatnot. But you can also fire scouts at any time. So once you got a scout that you found enough, they found enough information for you, or you feel comfortable with, you can turn around and fire them and hire another scout to look for something else in an area that you are not looking at. You don't, let's say you looked at all the wide receivers in certain areas or stuff like that. Then maybe I need a tight end. So you have that same, you fire that one, and there's a guy that's maybe a 2-tier type of scout, because maybe the other guy is maybe a 1-tier type of scout. You can go, he can look up more information maybe in the area that he is more, in a region he's more knowable. So there's a lot of things you can do here. As you see, the Central Scouts, of course, all the states, both Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Illinois, Wisconsin, and then of course you got the out west, all the states out west, including Alaska and Hawaii, and then you got the Northeast, which is both upper and lower peninsula of Michigan, and of course the Ohio Valley area, Pennsylvania, New York, all those others, and then of course the Southeast. That's SEC country. Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, and places like that. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of areas where you can, a lot of things you can do with scouts, and like I said, you can hire and fire them. The course of the season, and of course they'll tell you what areas they are, their strong suits at, what positions they're strong at, and you just go by there, and then you kind of just and then at some point here you can kind of focus in on a position. Like you see here, you can actually have them focus on a particular position. Like for instance, this scout right here, middle linebacker, but also too, he can, he has the ability to look at defensive ends. So you can have them focus on a precise area, and stuff like that. So of course there you see some familiar names. If you're not familiar with the Highland Scotty series, shame on you. That series has been around for quite some time now. But for the ones I have, of course, you'll see some familiar names from a Highland Scotty series. If you have not followed the Highland Scotty series, please go check it out. It's here on this channel. I'll leave a link up below, above the eye here. Also, I'll try to leave a link down below in the comments or in the description here in the video. But there's a lot of players here for the Highland Scotty series that either players we had on the team, that we had on our team builder team, or players that we had faced against, but also too some players that we've also that were not really covered, because there's so many players, so many teams, there's so many players in college football, there's so many other things going on. I try to focus on players that really in this draft, there's players from my Highland Skies team because that's my team, but also team players that we played against that I thought were really good. I'm like, hey, we're gonna put them in Madden. I want to see how they are in Madden. And then also players that won awards in other conferences that did really well, like maybe they're All-American or they won the Benescoff or whatever. And I added some of those players. Now I am working on a data sheet, and I'm hoping to have that one ready for you guys. A Google Google document sheet where you guys can look and see those players. Now there'll be the players' names. There'll be a little bit, not necessarily a description of the player, but where they went. Basically all the information, the height, weight, all that kind of stuff. What school they went to, if they won an award or not, and maybe their weakness and strengths, just to help you guys out of how you guys can draft these players. So just a little bit of information for players, especially with people that know the series really well. You guys probably know who the Highland Scotty players are going to be doing really well, because these players will jump around, go up and down these boards here between now and draft day. And so, don't know how that's, going to plan out here. This is my first time ever doing and the majority of these players are players that I created myself. So I went in there and I've been working on these for the last couple of months now, and I think they're good enough to be. I figured like, can't do any more changes here. I try to be balanced. I try to make the players realistic, but also threw some nice little curveballs in there. Some things like you shouldn't just take that player's value of what they are for, you shouldn't take it for value. Just don't take it for face value. There might be some tricks in there. There might be some hidden things about some certain players here. I'm not gonna say which ones. You have to look and kind of look at the players, look at the scout them yourself. And I'm not saying that's just the Highland Scotties players themselves, but also it's the players that I also created in there that are non-Highland Scotties. Now, if you are going to draft a Highland Scotties player, since Highland's not in the game, that particular school is not in the game, they will be under, the college for those players will be under Emporia State, because that's where actually I went to school at. I went to Emporia State. And so I went ahead and put their college, where they're from, what college they're from, Emporia State. So if you're looking for a Highland Scotties player and he says Emporia State, that's a player that I created that was based off of the Highland Scotties series. So if you guys want to, I just let you guys know that those players are on, like majority of those players are on there from that first draft class, the first 4 years, because when I started the series, they were freshmen or sophomores, so they wasn't really draft eligible yet to go. So, but like I said, there will be a Google document, maybe in the next episode when I announce what the draft class is. I'm currently working on that Google document right now, so once that gets done, I'll let you guys know, and I will put it down below in the description, or even pinned it also there in the be a pinned comment down below. So definitely, like I said, check out the Highland Scotties series. It's a fun series. We're about to wrap up season 5 actually, and get ready for season 6. And if you want to be a part of the next class in that one, I will let you guys know here very soon there on that series of how you guys can join a part of that. But also too, you guys can also join this series if you want to. So and I'll let you guys know how you guys can do that for season 2, season 2 or draft class 2, because I have not got draft class 2 done completely yet. There's still time to put some new players in there. And like I said, I try to put some surprises in there to kind of just trip you guys up, and I think it'd be fun because, like I said, just because they're a first round guy, they may not be first round worthy. There might be players in the 5th or 6th round that actually are first round players, and you just got to do the digging. Or there might be players that are undrafted that are blue chippers, but just for the simple fact because they didn't come from a household name of a college. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the draft classes here, especially in this draft class and all the other draft classes, hopefully in the future for this series. But that is it for this episode. As you take a look there, we got just to show you some of the numbers there for the Houston game here. Should be a good game. Got to try to stop and control Watson, put some pressure on him, just like we did to Patrick Mahomes in this game. But more or less, this should be an easy game for us. The Houston Texans are not the Houston Texans like they were many years ago, especially with J.J. Watt now in Arizona. So yeah, we should be able to, do some good in this one. But that is it for this episode of the Dawg Pound. Like I said, I just want to talk about the draft class and what to expect, and that's about it. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't been new. Hit that bell notification so you guys be notified of this series or any other series here on the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Check us out on our second channel, as we're about to start a new series on there for Madden 22 on ESPN or ESGNet LP over there, and should be fun. It's gonna be a nice. It's gonna be a Kansas City Chiefs series, so stay tuned for that. I'm getting that in the works right now, so stay tuned for that. But as always, keep yourselves and each other healthy, and I will see you all next time.